This is Medusa, a young priestess of rare and striking beauty, living a life of quiet devotion at a temple dedicated to Athena. The temple stood along a rugged coastline. Medusa tended its grounds, prepared offerings, and performed the sacred rituals. Her beauty spread far beyond those walls, spoken of by travelers and worshippers alike, and eventually it reached the wrong ears. Poseidon, god of the sea, took notice. Driven by lust, he rose from the depths and entered the temple. Within that sacred space, he violated her. You might think that such an act would be met with justice. Instead, judgment came, swift, unquestioned, and aimed entirely at Medusa. Poseidon faced no punishment. The victim was made a victim all over again. Athena's wrath fell upon the woman who had been violated in her temple, while the god who did the defiling went untouched. Athena transformed Medusa into a monstrous gorgon, her hair replaced by hissing serpents, her gaze cursed to turn any onlooker instantly to stone. Exiled to a cave at the edge of the world, alongside her two immortal sisters, Stheno and Euryale. Meanwhile, far away, a hero's journey was already beginning. Set in motion by a prophecy, a king would do anything to escape. King Acrisius of Argos received a chilling warning from the oracle at Delphi.
O King Acrisius, you will one day be killed by your own grandson.
Terrified by the prophecy, he locked his only daughter, Danae, inside a bronze chamber, cutting off any chance she might bear a child. But walls cannot keep out the gods. Zeus descended upon Danae in the form of a golden rain, and from that union, Perseus was born. Acrisius feared the gods too much to spill his grandson's blood directly, yet he could not allow the prophecy to stand. He sealed Danae and the infant Perseus inside a wooden chest and cast them into the sea. Guided by divine will, the chest washed ashore on the island of Seriphos. A fisherman named Dictys pulled them from the tide and offered them sanctuary. Dictys himself was of royal blood, the brother of King Polydectes, but he had chosen a quiet, humble life. Now those same hands that mended nets saved a princess and her child. Perseus grew up under Dictys's protection, strong and fiercely protective of his mother. That very devotion became a problem because King Polydectes desired Danae and saw Perseus as an obstacle. So the king devised a trap, a grand banquet where every guest was expected to bring a horse as tribute. Perseus had no wealth to offer, so he made a reckless declaration.
I will bring the king whatever the king wants.
Bring me the head of the gorgon Medusa.
To stand any chance of fulfilling that demand, Perseus needed help beyond the mortal world. And it came. The gods Athena and Hermes appeared to him. Hermes first guided him to the Graeae, three ancient sisters of the Gorgons who shared a single eye and a single tooth among them. Only they knew the way to the nymphs who held the weapons he required. As the Graeae passed the eye from hand to hand, Perseus snatched it, holding it hostage until they revealed the nymphs' secret location. From those nymphs, he received the tools that would make his quest possible. The cabesus, a specially crafted bag to safely contain the Gorgon's head, winged sandals to carry him through the air, and the helm of Hades, which granted its wearer invisibility. Hermes added an adamantine sword that could cut through anything, and Athena gave him a mirror-polished shield. Fully equipped, Perseus flew to the Gorgon's lair. Knowing that a single direct glance at Medusa would turn him to stone, he approached backwards, guiding himself entirely by her reflection in the shield. With one decisive stroke, he took her head. In that instant, something extraordinary happened. From her severed neck burst Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysaor, a giant wielding a golden sword. They were the unborn children of Medusa and Poseidon, freed into the world only in the moment of her death. The blood roused the immortal sisters Stheno and Euryale, but Perseus slipped on the helm of darkness and vanished into the sky. The flight home was far from peaceful. While crossing Africa, he encountered the hostile Titan Atlas, who refused him hospitality. Perseus held up Medusa's head, and Atlas was transformed into stone. The mountain range there still bears his name. Further along the coast of Ethiopia, he came upon a girl chained to a rock, the Princess Andromeda, condemned to be devoured by a sea monster because her mother had boasted rashly about her beauty. Perseus slew the beast, broke her chains, and took her as his wife. When he finally returned to Seriphos, he found his mother in hiding, driven there by the violent advances of Polydectes. Perseus strode into the king's hall, opened the cabysus, and held up the Gorgon's head. Medusa's gaze did the rest. Polydectes and his entire court turned to stone where they stood. Perseus gave the kingdom to the good fisherman Dictys, returned the borrowed artifacts, and offered Medusa's head to Athena, who fixed it to her shield, the Aegis, forever. But the prophecy that started it all was not yet finished. Its end came at an athletic contest in Larissa. Perseus was competing in the discus throw when his throw veered off course and struck an elderly spectator in the crowd. The man died instantly. His name was Acrisius. Decades of running, and fate caught up with him through nothing more than a stray discus on an ordinary afternoon. The myth of Perseus and Medusa is remembered as a hero's tale of courage and divine favor. But underneath it runs something darker, the relentless machinery of fate, and the quiet tragedy of the woman the story calls a monster. Medusa's image endured long after her death. The ancient Greeks placed her face on armor, pottery, and temple floors as an apotropaic symbol, a fierce, ambiguous emblem that commanded fear and offered protection in equal measure for eternity.